state of R&B in the UK at the moment? I want to go there.
So life support. Well, it's been on.
Thank you. It's been on life support for a long time, and we're so pleased that you all are doing what you're doing. It just, we need that.
Yeah, it is.
As an artist individual, you can do whatever you want in that extent. But what we had was a different empowerment in the old days. It was very, very different. We came from a more of an organic sense. Today it's very, it's a turnover. It's like
there is a new generation.
It's a new generation.
There's a lot of talent that are playing.
Yes,
definitely. I mean, we talk about this like this isn't happening. I mean, media says this, but in reality, I work with a lot of young people and mentor them. So great musicians. Just last week, I saw a young kid, Ras, with a keyboard coming from a gig. I said, "Will you come?" I just stopped him. Anyway, but we had a really good talk, and it was so refreshing to see his dedication to music. I asked him I told him about the collective. Have you heard of any of these guys? He's heard of Omar, and that was it. But that just shows he's still got a lot to learn about the musical history. So it's great. They're out there.
Because there is that need for proper going back to R&B, the original roots of soul music. And you all are the godfathers.
You need something. I mean, basically we need something with substance.
Yes.
Right? There isn't anything with any substance. You have people that come along and they was on one tune and then they went on another tune and the next tune and then that tune may be fired up and this one then, but there's nothing that says who they are. There's no artist. There's no sound. There's no challenge. There's no purpose. There's no being. There's just. I'm not putting them down, but it is that because there's a lack of history from them understanding what went on, took place in their own country, right, that allowed them to make the music that they're making today, then you kind of like, you feel cool. But when you go into a studio, which I have recently with two boys who been doing, what are their names, Sam Smith, and you turn around and you discuss the British Collective, and they ask who's in it, and you mention who's in it, and they go on YouTube and they say, I've never heard of Omar, and I've never heard of Donny, and I've never heard of Noel McCoy, and oh yeah, that Lee John tune, Imagination, right, right, and everybody knows your tune. Really? But you thought I was American.
Yes.
So the story becomes another story within his mind.
It's the same thing.
But what I'm saying, to move it on, what I'm saying is, to me, what an incredible thing. You're actually making music based off of the fact of the kind of sounds that you two made in the 90s. And you don't even know where it comes from. Now,
that's the whole point of this, though.
That's the whole point. Because for me, that was like, you're having a laugh. You're dropping drum and bass on me, right? When like Lee Scratch Perry kind of thing, right? But you're doing it through a computer and numbers. So I'm sitting there, I mean, you know, I've had the pleasure, so I know all that work. So I've had the pleasure, I'm watching this and I'm seeing this and I'm thinking, do you know where that comes from? And they're telling me about some guy, obscure guy that sells 100,000 on iTunes.
Right? It's interesting that our young people think like that, and when they do get to hear about us, which they will, then the history will kick in. Who's this guy who produced Tiny Temper? Labyrinth. Now he's a guy, out of all of the young stuff, Ed Sheeran as well, those guys are more kind of progressive, I say, as young people. And there's loads more light there.
Especially on the live circuit.
You know,
very good live.
You know, I mean, there's good elements, of course. You know what I mean? You gotta be
it's not how long it will last.
But you know, I saw Tiny Temper on the side of a Lucas A bottle, and I was like, yeah, go on. You know? That's the kind of thing that we that's what we've been trying to strive for. Just
but that's what we help.
Exactly. Just because we ain't doing that, you know what I mean? It doesn't
you look at this, what I'm saying is that like anything, we evolve. We must. So we're not saying that like we're trying to be the new kings of 2015, because obviously you go out somewhere and a little girl at 15 and look and say, you look as old as my dad. So, no, but it's the truth. Unless the actual music itself is what they're drawn to. You get what I'm saying? Right? It's about the music. If you can feel that music, which they will do, right? And it then manoeuvres itself, the movement begins. What happens is that then you do walk in, the little kid who's happening and he's got the #1 record, he's looking for his elders to teach.
Always.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. And we are not elders who have not been successful worldwide. Grammy winners, MDs, right? We you know, across the board, you look at this program and that program, winners. But we have succeeded in what we've done on a grand scale.
It's interesting because I interviewed what's his name from D-Train, one of the guys from D-Train. And Jake, thank you. And he was saying he couldn't believe how much of the soul music we were playing here from 80s and 90s. They don't play in America. No. Unless you're Rihanna, Jay-Z, you're not getting played. So I think over here, I think America are definitely watching what we're doing
in the
here.
70s and late 70s, the same thing was going on. We weren't into disco.
That's right.
We weren't into into the funk.
Yeah.
So you had, you know, Rufus, you had Funkadelic, you had all these groups coming over here, all here all the time. We picked up on all the funk. Disco was, you know, much more of a commercial media. That we didn't even when Saturday Night Fever, no one liked it.
Remember when disco? We were there when disco, the first style of disco, was way before we were dancing. But
it's fun as well. That's the good thing about it. It's really fun and it's very free. That's the situation. It's very fun. It's very free, and it's musical and it's melodic, which is what it's about. You know, it's not something that it's not science.
Yeah.
It's a beauty of knowing that you're doing something that is classic and will be classic and that will be sustained.
Yeah.
And you know what? And sustaining is what it's about. And maintaining and knowing that that movement is something which is a strong body that you can take internationally on an international scale. And that's the situation. We have an embodiment of what we are all about. You know, it has to be taken to the next level.
Yes.
You know, Junior keeps saying, you know, like, do you understand? Da, 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 da. And it's like, yeah, he's right, because that is it, you know. And I think that with the British Collective, it's part of a whole movement, because we were talking about it, that there's a lot of change going on, because there's also certain age things going on where people are not being fed. They're not being fed. The roots of what's happening. They're not being fed. We're not seeing ourselves.
Really, actually, the guy Ian Barber, who's a friend of mine, he did from the Independent editor. He, in particular, I've had many talks with him, and he grew up with our music, loves our music. So doing a piece like this, he couldn't wait. I told him about the Collective from last year. He couldn't wait for a moment like this at the Coco, and there's many others like that. So you're right. They're embracing
I have to ask, because I've noticed that the Guardian are jumping in on every single gig we're trying to copy. They're in there. The Guardian's in there. The Independent. They're all realising that, you know what? I know what happened at the Mobos. We had a lot of young music was going through.
It was a very controversial
thesis
event. I was working, but I only heard. And I would say 75% of everything I heard was unfortunately negative.
Yes.
Because it's a program that really, using the word embodiment, I don't particularly feel it embodies UK black music.
No.
It does for the kids. The young black, 25%, the kids are cool, they're doing the dubstep. I think it helps in that area for them. Yeah. But if you're doing a music award show, it should be a wide spectrum.
Yes.
If you're doing jazz, you're doing gospel, you're doing reggae, and that's what I thought music should be about. And that's, for a long time, I've just felt that these award shows
don't encompass.
They don't.
And they don't show a.
Reggae is one of the formats, and there's never ever.
And they did it off camera.
They did it off camera.
I was saying Ed Sheeran's new song, the one where he's dancing with a lady, the bass line is Marvin Gaye. Let's get it on.
Right. Yes.
Yes. It's in the same.
Yes.
Right.
Who did it for real?
No. Ed Sheeran.
No. Who produced it?
Pharrell? Was it Pharrell or one of them?
No. What's going on right now is that, like, when I was a kid, I would have to hark back to American artists. I would have to, because not knowing anything about anything. My sister was over in America. I was getting James Brown, Wilson Pickett, all of that kind of stack soul coming through. I'm listening to the radio, so I'm listening to the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Yardbirds, and all of that kind of stuff. Right? I turn it around and I've got my brothers, them and their sound system, man. So I'm going out now playing sound system, and I'm hearing some hardcore reggae, nice music though. So I've got this whole junk of music that's just coming in, right? So I go out and I make what is within me. What I'm saying is 30 years down the line, a kid who's making music now cannot give a history to the music he's making. So what kind of music is it that you can then turn around and label it as urban contemporary, R&B, or any goddamn thing?
I hear you.
I went into a studio and I did a tune, Do You Really Want My Love? I asked Stevie to play drums. There's a lick that I did in the tune, and when I did the lick, he nearly fell off the drums. He's cracked up laughing, and he said, "You stole that from me. I stole that from Clyde McFadden. Clyde McFadden stole that from so-and-so. A lick. A lick. Nothing else, you know. A lick. Right? So we're not dealing with somebody. We're not dealing with somebody who comes up with music because of the fact I'm just a genius. This man's going right back, so he's listeing to some different kind of chords.
That's how it was always done in the culture.
Thank you all so much for doing some stuff for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We gotta work it out. No work, come on, we gotta work it back in this world, man. Come on, let's work. What we gonna do, come on, let's do this, come on, let's work it, come on, let's work it out, come on, let's work, come on, let's work it out, come on, let's work, come on, let's work.